signs and wonders in the land. Although Paro was stubborn, didn't listen, wouldn't bend exactly what Hashem had planned. The first warning was given, which Paro ignored. The Nile River turned to blood. The fish will die, the water smell because of the dung. Then frogs emerged, they were everywhere in pots and pans, bedrooms and stoves. Slimy tired they are found in every place that a mitzri goes. Those Vardei Akinim, Arot Evishlim, Varad Arbecho, Shemakas Bechoros. But Paro wouldn't listen.
Shalom, everybody. Wow, that was Rabbi Dubin's CD on Let My People Go. And that is for the book of Shemos. Shalom, and my name is Morah Dena. And are you ready for Torah time? This is so exciting. Here we are. There is a reason why I'm wearing my special safari hat today, because I'm on an adventure to find some wild animals. Do you happen to see any around, wild animals? Because that could be connected to this week's Parsha. All of you out there, do you happen to see any wild animals? Because I'm searching with my safari hat to see if I can find any wild animals here in Mitzrayim, here in the land of Egypt. I don't know. I'll be very scared if I do see any wild animals. You let me know. Let me know. Whoop. Let me know. Whoop. Let me know. Whoa. You let me know if you see anything wild going on here. Shalom to everybody. Shalom, bracha tova, and shalom. And to all my friends out there who are ready for Torah time, our favorite time of the week. We love Torah. Torah is our life. Torah is our life. We are ready to begin Parshas Vaera, and this is in the book of Shemos. Parshas Vaera is in the book of Shemos. Get your fist ready for books of the Torah. Please raise your hand, your yad, for the book of Shemos. The books of the Torah. The books of the Torah. There are 5. Give me 5. There are 5. Give me 5. Bereshis Shemos Vayikra. Bereshis Shemos Vayikra. Bamidbar Devarim. Bamidbar Devarim. Bereshis Shemos Vayikra. Bamidbar Devarim. That's 5. Give me 5. Give me 5. The Parsha of the week is Vaera. The Parsha of the week is Vaera. The Parsha of the week is Vaera. Let's find out what's going on in Parshas Vaera. Vaera sounds like Vayera. Vayera we had in the book of Parshas. Vaera is in the book of Shemos. One is Vayera, and he appeared, and Vaera, and I appeared to Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Hashem appeared to them at some point in the Torah to tell our fathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, that the Bnei Israel are the people of the Torah. They will be in the land of Mitzrayim, and Hashem will take them out. And this week's Parsha is going to give us a touch of how Paro is going to see that Hashem is the true king, not Paro. Paro thinks he is the king of the world. But you and I know out there that it's not Paro, the king of the whole world. We know that Hashem is the king of the world. Hashem is the king of the world. Hashem is the king of the world. Well, let's begin. We know that Moshe goes to the Bnei Israel, and Moshe shows them the signs that Hashem gave him, like the mateh, like the blood, like his hand turning into tzara'as. But we know when the Bnei Israel saw these signs, They said they were so tired and so beaten up from being slaves. Take a peek, look at their faces. They're like, oh, is that who Hashem is? Is that who Hashem is? They were so tired because they were whipped and beaten by Paro. And so that was Moshe's job, to tell Bnei Yisrael the greatness of Hashem. And of course we learned that Moshe took his mateh to Paro. And of course, threw his mateh, his stick, down on the ground, turned into a nachash. And we know that Paro's magicians could do the same. And that's when Paro said, get out of my palace now. The Bnei Yisrael are going to work harder than ever. They're going to have to make their clay now for their bricks, harder than ever. That made Moshe and Aaron so sad. Moshe walked out. What's going to happen? But Hashem said, do not fear, Moshe, because tomorrow Paro is going to learn the lesson of who the real king of the world is, with the 10 makos, the 10 makos, 10 makos, and that's the 10 plagues that are going to come to Paro and the land of Mitzrayim to teach them who the real king is. The next morning, Moshe and Aaron go out by the river, and when they go out by the river, here they are. Moshe, Hashem says, Moshe, give your stick to Aaron, your brother, your older brother, and have your older brother Aaron hit the water, and all the water in Mitzrayim is going to turn to, can you guess? Oh yes, turn to, guess what? None other than bloody, bloody blood. Bloody, bloody blood. And by the way, tell me please, why do you think Aaron had to hit the water and not Moshe? Why couldn't Moshe hit the water? He was okay to hit the water. Why did it have to be Aaron? Because we learned that the water was kind to Moshe. The water was kind to Moshe. The water saved Moshe when he was a baby and put into a basket and floated down the river. The water saved Moshe. So now Moshe has to be kind to the water and be grateful to the water. Even water we must be grateful to, all the more so for human beings, folks out there. So Aaron takes the mateh and he hits the water, and all the water of Mitzrayim turns to bloody blood. Take a look at Paro drinking his bloody blood. When he wakes up in the morning, he is quite surprised to find blood everywhere, and everyone in Mitzrayim is crying to Paro, take this makkah of bloody blood away. Take it away. And the Mitzrayim tried to go to Goshen, and they tried to get water from Bnei Yisrael, from the Jewish people. And look, sometimes the Jewish people felt bad, and they shared their water. But no, 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 no. Here is one of the people in Goshen, the Bnei Yisrael, drinking his water, sharing it with the Mitzri. He gets clear water, and he gets bloody blood water. There was no blood. There was no bloody water in the land of Goshen, where the Bnei Yisrael lived. Only in the land of Mitzrayim. What a surprise, what a surprise. Take a look, take a look. We learn that, if you take a look, we know that Paro called in his magicians. And he said, magicians, you try to make that bloody blood. And what do you think? Were they able to make it? Morah Dena said magic in Mitzrayim in that time was really great. And Paro's magicians were able to make that blood too. Let's see if Morah Dena could make that blood. Just joking. Here I go. I am not a magician, and I'm not. But let's see if I can do a little experiment. Here it is, water. Oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Let me take some water and see if I can turn it into bloody blood. I take a little drop and pour it in. And what do you think of that? Whoa. Who out there would like a little drink of the blood? Yuck. That's not very pretty, is it? Bloody blood. Now you get a little sample. I would not want to drink Dama, would you? No way, no way. Okay, well now, of course, once the blood, the Mitzrayim, the Egyptians were crying and saying, take this blood away, take it away, take it away. And once the blood was gone, the next day, that lasted for a week, the Makkah, but the Makkah was a month long. It only came once a month, the Makkos. The next morning, Moshe and Aharon went out to the river. And when they went out to the river, Moshe was told, Hashem said, Moshe, give your mateh to your brother Aharon and have him hit the water. And once he hit the water, he did again, because being grateful to the water saved Moshe. And now Aharon is going to hit the water, because out of the Mayim is going to come Tzifardea. And we learned Tzifardea is singular, is one froggy. One froggy came out of the water, but it wasn't just a regular frog. It was a gigantic frog. And this gigantic frog jumped out. And of course it jumped onto the dry land. And the Mitzrayim, the Egyptians, were so scared they took their sticks and started hitting the gigantic frog. And the gigantic frog opened its mouth, and gillions and zillions and trillions of little froggies came hippity-happening all over Mitzrayim, all over Egypt, and of course to the palace of Paro. And Paro was sleeping in bed. One day when Paro woke in his bed, frogs on his head and frogs in his bed, frogs on his nose and frogs on his toes, frogs here, frogs there, frogs just jumping everywhere, frogs everywhere. The frogs even went into the ovens of Paro's palace. And yes, those frogs were croaking. One could not hear a thing except for the frogs croaking everywhere. And can you imagine not being able to talk to a friend because there was such loud croaking that you couldn't hear a thing? Can you imagine opening your mouth and a frog jumping out? Can you imagine opening your box of cereal and seeing a frog hop out of your Cheerios? That would not be fun at all. And what about your mac and cheese? Mac and cheese, mix it up and find a frog eating up all of the delicious parts of your mac and cheese, including your ice cream sundaes. This was not a fun makkah at all. Frogs everywhere. Frogs can be cute, but not when there are gillions and zillions and trillions of them everywhere. And the Mitzrayim were crying and screaming and screaming and crying, take this makkah away, take this makkah away. And Paro actually called his magicians and said, magicians, you try making these Tzifardea, these frogs. And guess what, folks? The magicians were able to make the frogs. Yes, their magic was that good that they were able to create frogs too. Well, guess what? Once after a week, the frogs were gone. They lay piled up on the shores of Egypt. And now there were piles of dead fish from the bloody blood, piles of dead frogs from the froggy frogs. And Mitzrayim did not have a very good smell. It had a very bad smell all around Mitzrayim, but not in the land of Goshen. No, 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 no. Goshen smelled heavenly. Take a look at this frog. Yes, yes, yes. Does look a little bit like a teddy bear frog. And that is very, very amazing. How would you like to have frogs everywhere? Not me. Not me. Whoops. Here it is. Here it is. One day when Paro woke from his bed, there was a frog on his head, frog on his bed, frogs on his nose, frogs on his toes. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. This is the giant frog. Oh no, if I hit it, maybe zillions and gillions of frogs will come out. Ribbit, nice to meet all of you. Ribbit, nice to meet all of you. Ribbit. Whoop. Hoppity hop away. Well, I think I'm going to take a little drink. I'm a little thirsty. Not from this bloody blood. No, 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 no. Okay, and here is a picture of Paro. And Paro is in bed with frogs everywhere. Help, help, said Paro. What are frogs doing all over my palace? Frogs everywhere. Help, help. Frogs everywhere. And here they are, piled up on the seashores of Mitzrayim. Piles of dead frogs and piles of fish. What a smell in Mitzrayim. What a Terrible, 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 terrible smell. You would not like that smell in your house, would you? No way, no way. Well, once the froggies were gone, of course we learned that the next Makkah comes with Moshe and Aaron going out early in the morning, and they take some soot. Or not soot, actually not yet, not the soot. They take their mateh, and Hashem says, Moshe, give your mateh to Aaron again, and let Aaron hit the sand, hit the sand, hit the sand, Aaron. Why can't Moshe hit the sand? Why does Aaron hit the sand? Why can't Moshe hit the sand? Because out of the sand is going to come gillions and trillions and millions and zillions of kinim, lice crawling everywhere, itchy, kitchy, coo, lice everywhere. Tell me, please, think about it. Why couldn't Moshe hit the sand? Why couldn't Moshe hit the sand? Let's think back of last week's Parsha, when Moshe called out the special holy name of Hashem, and the Mitzri soldier who was beating up the Bnei Israel soldier fell down, boop, gone. And what did Moshe do? He covered him up with sand. The sand protected Moshe by letting him cover up the Mitzri. And take a look, take a look. So now Moshe has to be grateful to the sand that saved him, that he was able to cover up the Mitzri. Now Aharon has to hit the sand, not Moshe, and comes crawling out killions and trillions and millions and zillions of kinim, lice everywhere. And take a look at Paro scratching. And if you've ever had lice on your hair, that's pretty itchy, but one can imagine every part of someone's body covered in kinim, covered in kinim. And by the way, Paro calls us magicians and says, magicians, you can do this too. Make these kinim too. And guess what? They hit the sand. There are his magicians, the Mitzrim, the Egyptian magicians, hit the sand. But guess what? They couldn't make the lice. They kept trying and trying. And they said, King Paro, Melech Paro, guess what? This is their hand of the Hashem. This is their Hashem that made the lice. We can't do it. What do you think of that? The magicians realized already. It is from Hashem, from their Hashem. That's our Hashem. But what do you think of that? Look at those lice crawling everywhere, kinim everywhere. That lasted for a whole week of scratching, itching, scratching, itching. And once the kinim were gone, Paro's heart once again turned into a stone. And he said, no, no, no. I will not let them go. I didn't let them go after the dam, the blood. I didn't let them go after the tzifardea. I am certainly not going to let them go after this lice kinim. Watch out, Paro. Here he comes. Here comes the magicians. And if you take a look, the magicians are trying to make that kinim. And they're so disappointed. They cannot make the kinim that are crawling all over everybody. They're saying, sorry, Paro, this is from their Hashem. This is from their Hashem. Sorry, Paro. Well, the next morning, after the lice was gone, out of the jungles, out of the forest came the most scariest Makkah of all. And this might be why I am wearing a safari hat, to protect myself from this Makkah, because I'm still searching for the animals that came out of the jungles. The jungles. And take a look at this scary, scary Makkah. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And some snakes. And of course zebras, and hippos, and rhinos. Anything wild that you can imagine. Panthers. And of course cheetahs everywhere. Cheetahs, but don't cheat anybody with a cheetah. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Came out of the jungles and came into the land of Egypt and swarmed everywhere, screams everywhere, wild animals everywhere, help, help. You don't see any wild animals here. I am scared of wild animals. Did you happen to see any wild? Oh no, oh no. This happens to be my favorite animal. Say hello to Mr. Giraffe. Help, where'd he go? Say hi, Mr. Giraffe. Hi, everybody. Oh, this is my friend. He's kind of wild, but he's kind of cute, too. Isn't he cute? Say hi to everybody. Hello, everybody. I'm Mr. Giraffe. And I came out during the Makkah of Arov. What do you think of that? Arov, wild animals everywhere. I came straight from Mitzrayim. Yes, This is a collector giraffe that was in Mitzrayim many thousands of years ago. And he stays up in my room, and every time I look at him, I think about how I am lucky to be free from Mitzrayim to serve Hashem, free from Egypt, because I was a slave in Egypt, like you, too. When I look at this giraffe, I say, wow, look at you. You were once in that Makkah of Arov. Wild animals everywhere. Oh my goodness, wild animals everywhere. Whoa! Wild animals roaming the streets of Mitzrayim. What do you think of that? Don't get scared, don't get scared. Do not get scared. Oh, that may be why I need my safari hat to protect myself from any of these wild animals. And by the way, when Paro woke up, that's exactly what he saw. Wild animals, and everywhere you'd see his face is very scared. You can imagine laying in bed and waking up with a bear hug. A real bear giving you a hug. You can imagine going to the restroom and finding a cheetah sitting in the bathtub. You can imagine running into your closet and seeing a boa constrictor wrapped around you, thinking you put on a scarf, but you really put on a rattlesnake. That would not be fun. Help! 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 The Makkah of Arov. Animals everywhere, but not in the land of Goshen. Not one wild animal. And when the Egyptians tried to go to Goshen to be safe, of course, the animal followed them there and only stayed with the Mitzri. What do you think of that? The Bnei Israel, the Jewish people, were free from all of these Makkos in the land of Goshen. But take a look at the Mitzrayim. Pretty scary, I know you agree. But once the Makkah of Arov, all the animals went back to the jungle. You're going to go back to the jungle too soon. Once all the animals were gone, Paro's heart once again turned into a stone, and he said, no, 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 I will never let that Bnei Israel nation go. They are my slaves forever. Well, watch out, Paro, because the next Makkah is the Makkah of Dever. And in the Makkah of Dever, yes, take a look. Paro says, ooh, I'm in the mood for a really good dinner tonight. He goes out to his barn with his chef to pick out the animal. And what does he find? A very sad sight. All of his animals are gone, every single one of them. He has not one animal left, and in all of Mitzrayim and all of Egypt, not one animal left to eat. How sad is that? Upside down and gone from his barn. Paro is very sad. What's he going to eat? Plants, vegetables, vegetarian, vegan. I don't know about Paro, but I guess that's what's going to have to happen to Paro. Take a look at Paro. Not very happy. And once all of his animals are gone, and the Makkah lasted for a week, the animals for a week, Paro's heart once again turned into a stone. And he said, no, 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 I will never let them go. Watch out, Paro, because the next morning, Moshe and Aaron went outside, and Moshe was commanded to throw soot up into the sky. And once he threw the soot up into the sky, out came onto the Egyptians shechin, boils and blisters everywhere, covering their body. I once had a blister on the back of my neck, and I couldn't think of anything else that whole day. That was boiling and hurting so badly. One can imagine being covered in boils and blisters. Look at that Mitzri. That does not look like a happy sight. Whoa, Moshe throwing the soot up, covered in blisters. All the Egyptians covered in shechin. Take a look at that Paro face. Not happy at all. Covered in blisters. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. He couldn't move. He couldn't talk. In his mouth, in his ears, in all of the Egyptians' mouths, ears, Paro's getting the message. Who is the real king? Not Paro. It is Hashem. But not yet Paro, because Paro has a few more Makkos to go. And here's the shechin. Once the shechin is gone, and of course, once a week goes by and then a month goes by, Paro's heart turns back into a stone. And he says, "What? I will never let that nation go. No, no, no. I will not let them go." Let me take another drink, please. Ooh, not this drink. No, no, no. I thought it was water, but it's blood. Oh, I'm not going to drink blood. Well, watch out, Paro and the Egyptians, because the next Makkah is a very scary, scary Makkah, because here comes an unbelievable Makkah called Barad. And this is totally, take a look, Hashem's work. Fire and ice balls coming down from the sky, covered in fire. How could that be? Try to take a popsicle, light it on fire. You will see. Fire cannot go onto ice. And this is a great miracle because ice and fire together is most unusual. Take a look at Mitzrayim, totally on fire. Ice everywhere, ice and fire falling down from the Shamayim. Barad, fire and ice everywhere. You can imagine how scary that was. The palace on fire, their homes on fire. But not in Goshen. Goshen was safe, safe as can be. What a terrorizing, terrible Makkah. Barad, fire and ice together. Once the Barad was gone, part of Hashem's plan, Paro's heart turns back into a stone. And what does Paro say? No, no, no. I will never let them go. Oh, watch out, Paro, because here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. Because Parshas Vaera is loaded with 7 of the Makos. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Which means, let's do our math. If there are 10 Makos, and we already did 7, how many Makos are left? 3 more Makos, 3 Makos to go. So folks, you must stay tuned for next week's Parsha of Bo, where we will finish off the Makos. And that's really the time when Paro finally wakes up and says, I am not the king. No, I am not. Hashem is the king of the world. And this is all a part of Hashem's plan of how we become the Bnei Yisrael, how we become free, not free to do whatever we want. Free is a great word, but why did Hashem set us free from being slaves in Egypt? Hashem brought us out to freedom to serve Hashem. So think about it, folks. Think about how you and I, all of you out there, can be free and serve Hashem. This is our time, even though that was thousands of years ago. Parshas Vaera, when we received this Parsha, this Torah, it's still fresh as a daisy for today, because today we are still free to serve Hashem. So think about how you, and I'll think about how I, can serve Hashem even more than we do now. Think about the mitzvos that you can do to make this world a better place, to make the Torah shine, to say that Hashem is the king of the world. Wishing you an amazing, amazing Parshas Vaera, an amazing, amazing week, and great to be together. Have a wonderful week. Shabbat Shalom, and enjoy Torah. Torah is the best. It beats all the rest. Shalom. Bye-bye. Bye for now. Oh, one more question. You didn't happen to see any more wild animals, did you? So maybe the safari hat worked. It really protected me. Or was it Hashem who protected me? It must have been Hashem that protected me from all the wild animals. This is my friend. But I didn't see any. Did you see any other wild animals? Let me know. Please call me, send me a message if you saw any other wild animals on this Parsha time. Bye, Shalom, bye-bye.